Abnormia.
Welcome to Murder You, an Abnormia original, a true crime series exploring the most shocking murders worldwide. I'm your host, Maddie. Today's episode is the female gunman, Natalie Rupnow. Before we begin, please like and subscribe to our channel for all the latest Murder You content. Let's get started. Today I'm covering the recent mass shooting at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison, Wisconsin. This story is uniquely stunning because it was carried out by a 15-year-old girl named Natalie Samantha Rupnow and seems to have a direct connection to at least one other school shooting and a sordid domestic terrorist attack. December 16th, 2024 was a typical day at Abundant Life Christian School until around 10:57 a.m. when a terrifying intercom announcement interrupted classes. Lockdown. This is not a drill. Just moments before, students of mixed grades were pulling out homework in the study hall when a gunshot shattered the silence. Jolted classmates looked up from their books and saw that Samantha Rupnow, the quiet new girl, had a 9mm pistol and was firing indiscriminately at everyone. She fired at least 10 rounds, killing a teacher and a student before turning the gun on herself. When the deafening bangs ceased, 3 were dead, including a teacher, a student, and the gunman. 6 others were injured, including 2 in critical condition. School shootings have become so common in the United States that it's challenging to keep track of them all. However, this case is impossible to overlook because, let's face it, female school shooters are extremely rare. Men perpetrate the vast majority of mass shootings, and there are even fewer instances of female school shooters. To give you an idea, according to Campus Safety magazine, of the 349 incidents of gun violence in K-12 schools in the U.S. since 2000, 12 of the shooters were females, and 9 were under the age of 18, meaning juvenile females made up less than 3% of all shooters in that data set. Additionally, juvenile females who perpetrate mass school shootings are even more rare. Before the Abundant Life Christian School incident, it had been 45 years since a juvenile female shooter killed multiple people on school grounds, according to Hamline University's Violence Prevention Project. While it's rare for women to commit mass murder, it does happen, and there are troubling signs we might see them more frequently. In 1979, at Grover Cleveland Elementary School in San Diego, California, 16-year-old Brenda Ann Spencer opened fire on students from her house across the street from the school. She killed the principal and a custodian while wounding 8 children and a police officer. Spencer was a juvenile delinquent who abused drugs and was known to have a violent streak. She reportedly shot the windows of the school with a BB gun before the mass shooting. Yet her father gave her a .22 semi-automatic rifle and ammunition as a Christmas gift at the end of 1978. That sounds all too familiar. The 2024 Appalachia High School shooting, perpetrated by 14-year-old Colt Gray, was carried out using a rifle his father gave him for Christmas. Brenda Spencer fired 30 rounds in 20 minutes before police managed to position a garbage truck in front of the school. The red-headed, bespectacled teen then barricaded herself in her house for over 6 hours as law enforcement tried to coax her out. When a reporter who spoke with her during the standoff questioned her motivation, young Brenda said simply, "I don't like Mondays." This livens up the day. Wow. The chilling quote would later inspire a hit song in the UK, "I Don't Like Mondays." Band leader Bob Geldof later expressed regret over the song. I'll return to Brenda Spencer later, but let's get back to Rupnow, who seemed, by outward appearances, to be a typical teenage girl. Her classmates described her as quiet and lonely, but content with being an outsider. Of course, looks can be deceiving, and you never know what's going on in someone's mind or what sort of trauma they've endured. Natalie Samantha Rupnow was born in Madison, Wisconsin on November 7, 2009. She lived in the Madison metropolitan area and had family ties in Friesland and Randolph. Rupnow's parents, Melissa and Jeff Rupnow, married in 2011, 2 years after the birth of their daughter and only child. The young couple had a contentious relationship, to say the least. According to court records, Rupnow experienced a turbulent home life. Her parents divorced and remarried multiple times, leading to child custody disputes, with Samantha caught in the middle. After a second divorce and a new custody agreement, Rupnow bounced between parental homes every 2 to 3 days, so that had to be unsettling. Melissa and Jeff shared joint custody of their daughter until 2022, when, according to Fox 6 Milwaukee, Jeff was awarded sole custody. A neighbor across the street from the father described Samantha as a nice, talkative, and great little kid. However, it seems Rupnow had grown adept at hiding the pain and isolation she felt from adults. The Washington Post reported that Rupnow was enrolled in therapy due to her turbulent family life and had been for years. She experienced bullying at school. In writing that mysteriously appeared online and was attributed to Rupnow, she wrote, "Nobody really looked at me in a good way in elementary or middle school, nor even high school right now. Doesn't matter much because I like being alone." To escape feelings of loneliness, she went online and sought out others with similar experiences and built up resentment. She became interested in disturbing topics. According to officials who spoke to ABC News, Rupnow had reportedly shown an interest in neo-Nazi ideology and violence, and actively participated in online forums glorifying mass shooters. On Tumblr, she posted various images of guns and pictures relating to shootings. The account's profile picture is a screenshot of a security camera from a shooting, authorities said. She shared a photo of Parkland High School shooter Nicholas Cruz. She posted about the Columbine High School shooting and the 2007 school shooting in Jokela, Finland. In November 2023, a GIF of a gun was posted on the Tumblr account, with text reading, "Happy birthday to me." Those are all huge red flags, making you wonder where the parents were in all of this. Her father reportedly gifted her a pistol on her 14th birthday. However, she was all over social media accounts glorifying school shootings, both before and after she allegedly got this deadly gift. I'm not sure there's enough to charge the father criminally. Still, he should be investigated for negligence and held responsible if he broke any laws. Jeff Rupnow never imagined his daughter would commit a school shooting, but if you give a child a gun, you're responsible for what they do with it. There were plenty of warning signs in this case, and many chances to stop these murders from happening. Rupnow's cries for help went unanswered, and the students and teachers at her new school had no idea there was a ticking time bomb sitting in their class in the form of a troubled young girl. Despite all the recent school shootings, few imagined that the next perpetrator would be female, but perhaps we shouldn't have been surprised. In 2019, 18-year-old Alexis Wilson was arrested in Pittsburgh County, Oklahoma, for threatening to shoot hundreds of people at her former high school. She even purchased an AR-15 rifle and posted photos of it online. On March 27, 2023, a transgender 28-year-old man shot and killed 6 and wounded 2 at the Covenant School in Nashville, Tennessee. Aiden Hale was born Audrey Hale, so most of the early news stories reported the shooter as a female, using her birth name. I'll come back to that in a bit. On September 16, 2024, a 13-year-old girl was arrested for making a threat to commit a shooting at Buddy Taylor Middle School in Flagler County, Florida. On November 8, 2024, a 16-year-old girl was arrested in the same county for threatening to shoot up a school because she forgot to put on a makeup spray. That might have been a bad joke, but the police weren't laughing. In January 2025, an 18-year-old woman named Esmeralda Vargas was arrested for making a threat on TikTok to shoot up North Elementary School in Des Plaines, Illinois. There was an anonymous tip about a post on TikTok which may have saved lives. It's a shame that Rupnow regularly expressed her admiration for school shooters, yet she was never identified as a danger to her classmates. Just a few days before the attack, on the 13th of December, Rupnow shared a video showing a person taking their own life at a shooting range. On the day of the attack, she shared 2 final posts on social media via an X account. The first was an image of someone flashing a circular OK hand gesture.
which various groups have used as a white power symbol. According to the Anti-Defamation League, past shooters have also used this hand signal. The intent behind the post remains unclear. Her final post was a link to a Google Drive, which likely contained the manifesto attributed to her and circulating online. The multi-page manifesto is entitled "War Against Humanity." It depicts a disturbed individual filled with hateful thoughts, a hopeless outlook, and a menacing desire to make others suffer. Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes said, "A document about this shooting is circulating on social media, but we have not verified its authenticity. The FBI is investigating the origin of the manifesto, but judging by its contents, I believe Rupnow wrote it." She claimed that no one was aware of her plans and that she got the weapons, quote, "by lies and manipulation and my father's stupidity." She explained how she planned to commit suicide in the past, but decided to kill others first because it was, quote, "better for evolution rather than just one stupid, boring suicide." Assuming Rupnow wrote the manifesto, she lied about no one knowing her plans. And this is where the story gets even weirder. Days after the Abundant Life shooting, the FBI detained a 20-year-old California man named Alexander Pfaffendorf after he was discovered plotting a mass shooting with Rupnow through online communication. It just defies belief that an adult would plan to coordinate a mass killing with a child. Pfaffendorf and Rupnow exchanged numerous messages, according to court documents seeking a gun violence restraining order in California. Pfaffendorf admitted to FBI agents that he told Rupnow that he would arm himself with explosives and a gun and target a local government building at the same time she shot up her school in Madison, Wisconsin. A police SWAT team stormed his residence to search for any weapons or explosives. They carried out a large gun box from the home. The criminal investigation into Alex Pfaffendorf continues, and hopefully, charges will be brought against him. It's part of the broader investigation of Rupnow's motives for carrying out the Abundant Life massacre, as is the examination of her manifesto. Throughout the several-page document, Rupnow expressed disdain for societal norms and values. She spoke of a false morality, blaming humanity for creating a cruel world full of hypocrisy and exploitation. She referred to herself as a soldier against the plague of mankind and sought to justify her horrible actions. "If the world doesn't care that I exist," she wrote, "it will care when I don't." The school shooting was an attempt to regain control over her life, which she described as being dominated by feelings of powerlessness.
Aside from the rambling extremist ideology, the manifesto provides a remarkable insight into the motivation behind the desperate and horrible actions of a disillusioned teen. Samantha Rupnow's angry and hateful declarations seem to describe the helplessness so many young people feel. Most of them don't commit mass murder.
However, there's a disturbing trend of teens being radicalized on unmoderated social media forums. Rupnow's posts grew increasingly alarming leading up to the shooting. She posted cryptic messages that hinted at her escalating despair and desire to enact revenge. She posted images of firearms and violent memes, and used phrases such as, "The countdown has begun," and "They'll know what I mean when the time comes." Though her posts were alarming, no one raised the alarm or warned the authorities. Because of that, another mass murder occurred. There's a certain irony that Abundant Life Christian School in Madison prides itself on welcoming students who may have been bullied or had a difficult time at other schools. It's a small school with around 390 students. Rupnow had attended the school for less than 4 months before she unleashed the deadly 4-minute attack. 8-year-old Nora Gottschalk told CNN affiliate Whisk she was getting ready for lunch when the shooting began. She saw a teacher who was injured screaming for help. "I was really scared and I was really sad," Nora said. 6th grader Adler. Jean Charles said he heard 2 gunshots when he was in English class. "Some people started crying and then we just waited until the police came," he told Whisk. Bethany Hyman, whose daughter attends the school, told WMTV, "I pray with my kids every morning that this won't happen, and it's the world we live in." When the smoke cleared that morning, 42-year-old school staff member Aaron West and 14-year-old high school freshman Ruby Vergara were dead. Ruby was in the 9th grade, and her gentle, loving, and kind heart was reflected in her smile, the school said in a statement after the victims' names were released. Often seen with a book in hand, she had a gift for art and music, the statement read. West was a substitute teacher who became a full-time staff member at Abundant Life. Erin enjoyed family camping trips, attending school sporting events, serving at her church, and spending time with her 3 daughters and the entire family. Aside from the 2 deceased victims, half a dozen were wounded, and 2 were in critical condition for weeks. When news of this school shooting hit the internet, bizarre rumors were swirling online. Only 38 minutes after the school shooting began, the misinformation was spreading across social media. Perhaps because of the 2023 school shooting involving a transgendered man, one of the rumors was that Rupnow was transgender. According to NBC News, one of the first social media posts about the shooting said, "Taking bets on another trans shooter." The post didn't receive much attention until conspiracy theorist Alex Jones. Jones posted a prediction that the shooter was transgendered. The rumors were false, but that didn't matter to those spreading rumors and posting poorly photoshopped photos of Rupnow as a boy. Exactly 1 minute after the Alex Jones post, Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes was asked in his initial news conference about the shooter's gender. "I don't know if it's a male or female," Barnes said. Barnes meant that he didn't have that information. Still, the ambiguous statement led to rampant speculation about the gender of the shooter, as if it even mattered. Later, Barnes tried to quell the speculation by saying, "I don't think that whatever happened today has anything to do with how she or he or they may have wanted to identify, and I wish people would kind of leave their own personal biases out of this." I agree with that statement wholeheartedly. Of course, statistically speaking, it's usually young white males who commit school shootings. However, dwelling on the race and gender of the shooter is a distraction from the more significant issue, that school shootings are happening more frequently in American schools, and something must be done. I don't know what the answer is to this complex issue, but we should all pay close attention to the emotional state and mental health of young people. There are always warning signs, but parents must take the lead in knowing what their kids are doing. In August 2024, Jeff Rupnow posted a photo on Facebook of his daughter at a shooting range. In the picture, she's wearing a black shirt with the name of the German rock band KMFDM. It was a favorite band of the students who carried out the 1999 massacre at Columbine High School in Colorado. The band's name is an acronym for a phrase that translates to "No pity for the majority." The authorities said that Rupnow's parents were cooperating with the investigation and that there were no plans to charge them with negligence. I guess ignoring your daughter and not taking a very active role in her life isn't a crime, but it was undoubtedly one of many factors that contributed to this tragic event. On January 22, 2025, Solomon Henderson, a 17-year-old student, walked into the cafeteria at Antioch High School and opened fire with a pistol. In a case eerily like the Abundant Life shooting, Henderson killed one student and wounded another before taking his own life. During the investigation, investigators discovered that Henderson and Rupnow followed each other on social media and even interacted. When news about the Abundant Life shooting broke, Henderson responded to Rupnow's X account and requested her to live stream it. It's possible we're seeing a frightening new phase in these school shootings, with disturbed teens and young people meeting online to discuss their diabolical plans. As they receive validation for their warped views, they become more likely to act on their violent fantasies. Moreover, the likelihood that we could see coordinated attacks increases as social media companies continue to scale back the moderation of content. On December 16, 2024, Natalie Samantha Rupnow became the first juvenile to commit mass murder at a school since Brenda Spencer 45 years earlier.
I sincerely hope that we don't see another female mass shooter for the next 45 years, but I'm afraid that doesn't seem likely. The lesson of this story is that school shootings can happen in any town, at any school, and it might be the last kid you expect. That's it for this episode of Murder You. Join us next week for a follow-up episode about the very first juvenile school shooter, Brenda Ann Spencer.
Abnormia.